I'm Dechelle, and I'm from Orlando, Florida. I love that it's a big city. There's a lot to do there. There's always something, you could find no matter where you go. I used to be a cheerleader. I cheered for about 7 years on an all-star team while doing karate, which is pretty difficult. I love all kind of sports. I never played one because karate, takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, But I love everything. I love volleyball. I love soccer. Pretty much every sport. Just because we're so athletic, so everything kind of falls under that umbrella. Black belt. Well, I actually have a black belt in 3 styles, so they kind of progress. My first black belt was in Chinese Kempo under my first instructor, Rick Begley. Then my second black belt was under Arturo Espina in Japanese Goju-Ryu. And then my third black belt was under the ATA under Jesse Isaacs. So I've actually it's kind of cool to learn, different styles and how different things work. And they're kind of all the same, but, they have their different, aspects. These are my hyper performance kicks. So first, we are going to start with a tornado kick. So first, you want to keep your hands up nice and tight in a guarded position. From here, you're going to spin, and this is where you jump, but you're going to spin in the air. You're going to spot your target. My leg's going to come up in a high chamber, and then you're going to bring the kick all the way around. What you want to make sure you do is keep your toes pulled back. That way it looks nice and big. And also remember that you want to do it from the 45-degree angle to the 45, so you're coming across and you're hitting your target. Competing, I probably started around 8 or 9, just on local circuits. At that time I lived in Miami, so I was doing, the local circuits down there. Nothing huge, starting out, seeing if I liked it, seeing if that was, kind of for me. And I felt, I loved it. And at first, you don't win. And, that's what kind of pushes you to the next level. You want to do better. You want to be on top. You see all those kids that are up there and you're like, man, I want to be like them. So, that's what kept me going, and eventually led to the NASCA circuit that we compete on today. When I was first starting off, I didn't do sword at first, but then I was like, man, I want to do that. That looks cool. Then everybody was like, no, that's just for guys. And I'm like, come on, I could do that. And to this day, I still do everything except fighting in traditional forms. But I mean, back then, I did fight. I fought for a while, actually. People think I can't fight because I don't fight now. I'm a forms person, but I mean, I used to do everything. I used to fight. I did forms and weapons, traditional and extreme, so I pretty much covered it all. When you first start competing, you're the underdog. Nobody really knows who you are. And back then, when I was competing, it was difficult. It was 17 and under. So when I started, and I was the little, girl, because it was boys and girls, and you're standing there with, boys that are 17 years old, and you're a little 11-year-old girl trying to, make it to stage, it's really difficult. And, that made it hard and challenging. That's when you really had to train and try to get new cool things. And so that was pretty difficult at first. And eventually I got past that, and as I got older, I got stronger, and I eventually started winning some, which was good. For me, I just try to go out there, always with the mindset to win. I never want to go out there and say, hey, I want to get second place tonight. But, you always go out there and try to do the best form you can. And then, if it doesn't end your way, then you just got to try to, brush it off. Don't get upset. Just kind of move on, train for the next one. So that's how I kind of take it. When you compete, you do your form, so it's very important to practice. A lot of conditioning, sit-ups, push-ups, running, stamina is, key for your forms. And like my old coach always told me, you don't win your trophy at the tournament, you win it, at your dojo. Which I think is true. If you don't practice, you can't expect to go to a tournament and win. So my second trick is an aerial. So from here, what you're going to want to do is whichever way you go, right or left, you're going to push off your front foot, so in my case, my right foot. So you're going to want to push down and you're going to want to push back up to get the height, but then your back leg is going to kick over to come over the top. So from here, what you're going to want to do is do it all at the same time. That's the trick. So you're going to want to come down and then push up and kick both at the same time. Gotta train. You know, you can't win without, you know, putting effort behind it. You just can't expect to go out there and, you know, have that amazing form. You know, it takes a lot of effort and a lot of working out, you know, and you have to be willing to put the time into it. You know, if you only want to train about an hour a day, and it really doesn't work like that. I mean, it's just like anything else, like any other sport. If you want to be really good or go pro in it, you have to, you know, that's where your life goes. So pretty much for anybody up and coming, you know, train hard and you can be the best. I stay very focused in school. I've always, you know, tried to maintain straight A's. If I get a B, I'm like, man, you know, that like frustrates me. And my parents are always like, no, you're doing good. And little things like that have always gotten me. Like, I'm very disciplined. You know, I stay away from the wrong things. I'm very focused in what I do. So I think karate's helped shape my life and put me on a good path. You know, a lot of people don't know what we do, and you know, like all the people that see us, you know, even on the street, they're like, man, what do you do? That's cool, we've never seen that. And it's like, you know, we can be just as cool as skateboarding and, you know, all those other sports. So I really hope that we can get karate out there and get people to see it and, you know, see the cool things that we do. So for my last kick, we're doing a pop 360 round. So from here, what you're going to want to do is start with your feet parallel, hands up nice and strong in a guard position. So from here, you're going to bend both knees and you're going to pop up into a spin. You want to stay nice and tight wrapped. As you come around, you spot your target and you're going to pop a round kick. Same thing as just a standard round kick. You want to chamber up nice and tight and then pop it out with pointed toes. Being successful definitely takes dedication. You know, if you're not willing to put the hours and, you know, all the sweat and the tears behind it, then, you know, you'll never get far in anything, you know, you try to do. So to me, dedication is very important. You know, to stick to something, you've got to be dedicated. You know, to learn new things, you have to be dedicated. So, you know, dedication goes really into everything, every aspect of, you know, not just martial arts, but, you know, your life also. So to me, dedication is one of the most important things. To be dedicated, you know, you have to always give it 110% and not, you know, quit. For example, you know, competing, after you've won for a year, you know, you just don't say, oh, well, you know, I've won this title and, you know, I've won a few divisions and so on. You know, dedication is competing for years and staying on top and saying, I'm going to go for one more year and I'm going to try to, you know, stay on top of, you know, all my competition, and I'm going to train harder and I'm going to work on some new things and new forms. So, you know, dedication takes a lot. You got to be willing to, you just never give up.